All right, let's go ahead and get this show started. So I get myself together here. Hope you guys are having a really good week so far. This was the wackest college football championship I've ever seen. I mean, that was horrible. I don't know if you guys had seen that at all. But that was a horrible championship football game. Shout out to everybody coming into the chat. Let me go ahead and see what you guys are in there talking about while I come in there to join you guys to make sure everything is working correctly. Bitcoin is approved, man. Bitcoin is approved. We hit 47K a bunch of times today. What's going on, Elite? Chess World, Cord Cutter, shout out to everybody coming into the building. I went and watched the game on Monday, so sorry if anybody missed me on Monday, but we're here. We're here and we're back on regularly scheduled programming, man. We're here and back on regularly scheduled programming. And shout out to Bitcoin, man. Bitcoin again. Look, you had 15 years to front run the banks. You had 15 years to front run. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I got to the party late. I didn't hear about Bitcoin until 2016. You know, that's unfortunately I didn't have a friend group that was educated enough to be in those spaces. And I blame myself for that. I blame myself every day for not having the kind of friend group that in 2010, 2011 could say, hey, yo, man, hey, have you heard about this thing called Bitcoin? Yeah, it's this way of being able to, store value digitally. How to be able to have trust in a trustless world. I blame myself for not having that kind of peer group, And since I heard about this technology, I've tried to do my best to put myself in a position where now I can have people bring me information and I can bring others information, right? And I would no doubt say it's rewarded me to be that kind of person, But with that said, 15 years have come and gone, and what we see now is an institutionalized asset class has been created. And this is going to change everything, man, because right now, if you don't already know, Bitcoin eats everything. Bitcoin eats everything. I mean, you can type it in, BTUSD, and let's put it against MasterCard. Well, BTUSD /MA, right? That's how, if I wanted to do it that way. Yeah, there it is. I can do it that way. Right? So you can take Bitcoin, BTUSD, slash it against any stock out there, any commodity out there, and then you're able to see what Bitcoin has been doing to that particular asset. And as you can see here, Bitcoin has been eating MasterCard alive. Slowly but surely, as it now takes 109 shares of MasterCard to give you one Bitcoin, right? And there are worse situations. You can put in, let's say, HOOD. We can look at, right, something like HOOD, what Bitcoin's been doing to HOOD. At one time, obviously Robinhood hasn't been trading for that long, so there's not much trading history. Let's just do the SPY. I think that'd be better. You get a decent chart. Yeah, this is Bitcoin versus the S&P 500. So at one time there was very little value against it, and as Bitcoin has risen in value, now it takes 98 shares of the S&P 500, ETF to give you one Bitcoin. So you're able to see with this software TradingView that most of you guys already have what Bitcoin has been doing to the value of these other assets, right? Because again, Bitcoin eats everything, literally eats everything, right? As we only have 21 million Bitcoin. And you're going to see, I don't want to talk about a God candle, but you're going to get a huge ass candle as wealthy people. You have grandmothers, grandfathers now, uncles and aunts with a lot of money. People who've been working for 45, 50 years of their life already, who can go out and get 3 Bitcoin, 4 or 5 Bitcoin at a time. This changes a lot of shit, man. This changes a lot of shit. And I'm excited to have my little piece of it. And we're already seeing, what's going on. MSTR, I made a video about that a couple of days ago. After hours, that's rallying. I think we're at 580. It hit 590. So you're going to see huge moves across the board in all of these things. Let me get back to the daily chart. But at the end of the day, I'm ready to make a declarative statement right now that every single ETF that was created today that will now trade tomorrow will outperform every stock on the market this year. I'm already ready to say that. That it's going to be so clear by this time next year that tokenized assets of the future it's going to change a lot of shit, man. Because people are going to be like, man, why the fuck why bother buying American Airlines? Why bother buying, any like boring ass company that, that isn't involved in technology or doesn't have Bitcoin on the balance sheet? It's not even going to make sense anymore. Good to see all of you guys in the chat room. Nelson Rodriguez, Lamprey. All right, Sheila, what's up? Yeah, y'all hit the like button. And go ahead and put some tickers in the chat. Let's see what you guys are also trading today. And I don't want to just throw up all my charts. I told you guys about NVIDIA. Look, man. At the end of the day, you guys can't see that. You guys can't say I don't bring you winners. You can't say I don't bring you winners. My first video back was an NVIDIA video. And we were at what? 487? 489? And I said, it's going to pop up and it's going to blast through 500, right? Because, again, think about it like it's a police busting into a drug house. It's just bam, bam, bam. And then eventually just boom through that 500. And missed opportunity for those of you guys who didn't take advantage of this because, now we're at $543 a share. Is there still money to be made on this? Absolutely, because I have it going to $700 this year. It's moving faster than I even expected. There was a woman that was on CNBC. She was talking about she had bought, and this was like 3 weeks ago, she had 550 calls for March. So here we are, middle of January, going into the middle of January, and we're already at 550. Damn near. So we're already there in a lot of those. Again, don't miss out on SMCI. This is a U.S.-based semiconductor company, but they're more or less into creating servers and the server blades that go into these huge data centers. They work with AMD, they work with NVIDIA. So no, I wouldn't call them a semiconductor company. They're not semiconductor. They build servers for data centers. And artificial intelligence, AI, understand this is a generational shift that's happening here. To 10 to 25 year generational shift where all of these legacy 64-bit devices that are in these data centers now, they have to go because they're not able to do the kind of calculations necessary to really harness the power of artificial intelligence. You need these, what they're calling quantum computers now, which are actually affordable now for not necessarily the common everyday person, but a publicly traded company to buy, several hundred of them. It's here now. You can Google this. It's here now. So this is a generational switch, shift being made here. Nvidia's profiting it from it. Basically everything in the XOXL ticker. I mean, again, this is a leveraged ETF, so just know what you're doing here. But this is another one that I've been following, going through right now, a multi-year breakout, looking at possibly breaking out that 3275 area. You have an opportunity now to buy some out of the way calls, right? Maybe some bull call spreads that give you a lot of time on it that are going to rise up higher. It's making the move. All right, it's making a move here. Let's see if we still above well above the 10 moving average on the day on the monthly chart. So a lot of things happening here. Again, I apologize for a crowded screen here, but it's just looking good. It's looking good. Somebody put up dries. Is that ticker even still trading? What did you bring up, man? What did you bring up there? Let me see. Let me answer this on. Oh my. Yeah, put a 1 up if you made money. Shout out to my new subscriber. Appreciate you, man. My goal is 25 subscribers tonight. We'll try to make it. Hey, I appreciate all of you joining me. Supply is limited and the market has grown much in 2024. Marve, appreciate you. What are you talking about, sir? Even for 5. Oh, I appreciate you, Lamprey. I didn't even know you said that earlier. I saw your name, but I didn't read the comment. Yeah. If you didn't see that post I brought up last week, I want you to see this. This is what's called the AI value chain. Again, these are all the tickers, more like companies with tickers behind them that are going to be hot this year. I mean, incredibly hot this year. All right, starting from basically the physical layer at the bottom, rising all the way to the top. Think about this as like an OSI model for those of you guys who studied IT before. So at the top, you've got the actual presentation layer, quote unquote. So you got Adobe products, Salesforce products, anything that basically a customer or business will interact directly with. And then at the bottom, you have the physical product, which is whether it be the semiconductor, the actual server blade, hardware provided by Supermicro, storage and data cloud devices by Snowflake, right? All of these. So screen capture that. Screen capture that. And speaking of snow is another one too, breaking out of multi-year highs here. Now, some people will say, well, I'd rather go ahead and trade the moat. I'd rather go ahead and trade the moat, which is Microsoft. And I'll be, look, I'd understand. I'd completely understand why you want to rather have Microsoft instead of Snowflake. Snowflake is competing against Microsoft. I perfectly understand why you'd want MSFT instead of SNOW, but where Microsoft is and where Snowflake is, there's a lot of opportunity here in what's called a catch-up trade, which is a stock that's been beat up for a very long time, that's participating in a high margin industry. The lead company within the industry is making a ton of money. Well, it almost makes sense that the stock that's been struggling will eventually also kind of catch up, for example. All right. Let's do a catch-up trade in Snowflake. So, again, put it on your watch list. Put it on your watch list. And for those of you guys who don't know, you can set price alerts on TradingView. But this is one that, look, this is going to be very interesting if we break out of that 203 level here on Snowflake. Right? Very interesting. We will have a nice rise prediction for 2024 because the supply is limited and the world market is still growing. You talking about Bitcoin? If you're talking about Bitcoin, I agree 100% with you. What's going on, Savvy Strands? Yeah, if you're talking about Bitcoin, I 100% agree with what you're saying, man. You know, I don't want to beat up a dead horse because at the end of the day, we're all here to make money every single day. And unfortunately, Bitcoin, you know, it doesn't have a viable trading pattern on a daily basis. So I do not consider it to be something that you look to every day to try to, like, you know, make $1 on. I'm more or less, you know, every kind of 30 to 45 days, there's a picture that looks, you know, very solid and it's tradable. But on a day-to-day basis, to me, Bitcoin is a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I don't know how these people who are going in and out on this thing, when it's no recognizable or identifiable trading pattern day to day. I don't see it at all. All right. My call-in line is open, so I don't know. I mean, I know you guys see it on the screen, so my call-in line is open unless you have a ticker you'd like to talk about. You guys are watching me, but you're just kind of watching me talk. I know I'm not talking to myself in here. Shit. You guys are a tough audience. All right. You guys are a tough audience. Let me see here. But we had a false start yesterday. And I know you guys all saw that false start yesterday where the SEC claimed that their account was hacked. Now, what was a blessing that came out of it in hindsight is the fact that you had a lot of people get liquidated yesterday that would have got liquidated today. But it happened yesterday. So that big move down that was supposed to happen didn't happen because they all got killed yesterday. And by the way, I always say this, you know, but if Gary Gensler was black, his ass would have been fired a long time ago. Let's just keep it 100. If he was black, they would have kicked his ass out a long time ago. You know, they would have kicked his ass out a long time ago. You know, there was no mention on the media yesterday about incompetence in any kind of way. I mean, how do you have a government, you know, Twitter account that doesn't have, what do they call it? Like two-factor identification or two-factor, I forgot what it's called, two-factor something. How do you not have that? I mean, again, all of these departments have dozens of IT people that they get paid six figures to set all of this up. And understand that they're tweeting this stuff on government devices. You know, on government devices. So how is this all not set up? And it's just incredible that this man still has a job. And then today on his announcement for the approval of these ETFs, he put in that although the department was approving the 11 or 12 or so ETFs, they weren't necessarily approving Bitcoin. So that was a little slight dig he had in the announcement, if you saw that. Two-factor identification, thank you. Authentication. Two-factor authentication. That's something that should be already set up. That's something that should already be set up. All right. If you didn't already look at my Twitter account today, I did put out finally an MSTR trade. I thought the one on the video was probably even better. But I did put out a MSTR trade because I do think, honestly, there's, again, I couldn't, you know, just looking at that slide day in and day out, I saw an opportunity there. So we'll see what happens there. But I went all the way out till April on that, because I'm not going to let you guys do, 3-day me, 7-day me, 14. I don't play that game. Some of you guys in here, you all love the little 3-day options. I don't like to sweat when I trade. You know what I mean? Some of you guys in here, you love to trade. You got the heart beating and you start sweating and you're checking it every 5 minutes, checking on your phone every 6, 7. I don't know how y'all function. I can't do that, man. I can't do that. That's too much for me. People say there's no risk, no reward. I mean, there's also something called stupid risk too. And I just feel like when your heart is beating that hard, when you're pulling out your phone all the time, that means you're uncertain. That means you've taken a little bit too much risk, and you know that. You got look, when you guys get to a point where you take trades and you don't even care about, that's when you know all right, you trading smart. That's how you know you're trading smart. Anybody, by the way, who bought my course a while ago, it is back up. You're going to see by probably midnight tonight, because I'm uploading some videos right now. It's taking forever. Obviously, while I'm streaming, it's going to slow down considerably. But there are going to be 3 other courses from other people that I'm putting in there. There's a woman from India who is, if you can just get past her voice, I mean, because she does have an accent, right? If you can get past that and just kind of learn to really listen to what she's saying. She's incredible at technical analysis. She's on YouTube as well. She's incredible at technical analysis. Now, she focuses mostly on the Indian stock market, but you can take everything she's teaching you and apply it to basically anything. She does Forex, she does stocks, and she is an incredible teacher. An incredible teacher. Her name is Racha something. What is her name? Rachana Renande. I'm going to put her name in the chat room so you guys can. And she's based out of India. Huge in India. She's huge in India. Let me put her in my chat room real quick. Huge in India. God damn. Why am I having trouble going to my own? 1 second, guys. Going into my own damn chat room is taking forever. All right, 1 second. Okay. Yeah, this is her name right here. I'm about to put that in there right now. Rachana Renande. She's got a huge YouTube channel. And you don't see her on our side because it's all India. I mean, everything is all India. But again, she speaks completely in English. So I have her course. And yes, I did purchase it. Back in the day, I ain't gonna lie. Back in the day on this channel, I used to do the 5-finger discount. You know what I'm saying? But now we don't have to do that now. Praise his name. We don't got to do that no more. We ain't got to live like that no more. Praise his name. So her course will be also in my course. For those of you guys who've already purchased it years ago, you'll be able to see all her videos. I think it's like a 30-hour course just in technical analysis, man. And look, you're about to be one of these people that's got, all that shit on it. You know what I mean? It's going to be looking like this. It's going to be looking like that. For those of you guys who want to really go that deep. What's going on, Bakari? You saw they're cutting Will mentioned that they were cutting the fees on the ETFs. Yeah, because, you got to understand. when you talk about cutting fees, it's about, inviting people who have large sums of money, because 1% of somebody who's got, or who's got $25 million, or who is managing $250 million, 1%, that's a considerable amount of money. You're BlackRock and you got this now Bitcoin ETF. You're going to go sit down with, Michigan Public Schools. Michigan Public Schools has got $500 million sitting on the side they're trying to look to do something with, because like most pension funds in America, they are underfunded in terms of their future liabilities. So they need to generate alpha in order to meet their upcoming liabilities. Why? Because people are living longer. These people aren't dying. You got people who are retiring and still collecting pensions 45 years later. That was not the intent of a pension. The intent of a pension was that you retire and maybe you live 5, maybe 10, but then you die. Right? And then that goes to the next person and the next person. The intent was not for somebody to live and collect on the pension for 40, 50 years after they retire. But that's what's happening now. And this has been the problem that's been hurting GM and Ford and all these other legacy companies. Macy's is getting killed by it. Macy's might go broke because of their pension situation. Right? So, yeah, you're going to lower your fees. You're going to lower your fees because you're trying to attract that kind of money, right? In hopes of, generating alpha for these organizations so they can meet their liabilities. And they're big liabilities too. Understand this, folks. Once we moved into 2024, 12,000 people are turning 65 every single day. 12,000 people in America every single day turn 65. We are an old country. That's why whenever you go outside today, all you see is old people. You just see gray hair everywhere today. Every restaurant, every store, it's just gray hair everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. That's why healthcare is so big. Healthcare is going to be another industry that's going to do really well over the next 5 to 10 years. Because right now, those people are still relatively active. But you will see as, time comes and passes, many of these people will lose their ability to be as active as they used to be. Now, they're going to fight it. I mean, you see it right now here in Congress. You got people who are fighting, being put out to the pasture. So we're going to see a lot of that. Some of you guys probably already see it at your jobs, where you have people who just don't know when it's time to call it quits and just move on to the next chapter of life. 68, 69 years old, still trying to come to work. I tell a story all the time about, when I wasn't working and I was kind of in between jobs and not really sure about what I was, doing with myself at the time. I went to a place called Ready Labor or some shit like that, Ready Labor or something like that. But anyway, I had to do some construction work. Again, I quit on the first day because I'm not built for that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not built for that shit, I'm not built for that shit. But what I had noticed is that a lot of people that I was working with in there were, older people. And I'm just wondering, why are you still in here pitching? You should have been out of here. And that really woke me up to, money and managing money properly and making sure you have a plan and you're working that plan every single day. Otherwise, man, you're going to be out here at a Ready Labor holding up a sign saying stop and go and flipping it every 15 minutes. Yeah, it just hit me. I said, Lord, I'm better than this. This is bullshit. I know I can do more with myself. I know I have more to offer. The hell am I doing here? All right. Let's take a look, man. I want to talk so badly about that tunnel that was found in New York, but I don't want to touch it because I don't want to lose my channel. I'm trying to bring this shit back, even though I feel like I'm low-key shadow banned. But them tunnels in New York got found. I told you guys last week about them small hats, man. They be doing some shit, bro. Labor Ready. Yes, Labor Ready. That's what it was called, Labor Ready. I walked into a Labor Ready, like, man, look, just give me anything. And they sent me to this job site where I was, man, you want to talk about feeling low? You want to talk about feeling low? Be a black man doing unskilled labor at a construction site. That's the lowest you ever feel in your life, boy, I'll tell you. That's the lowest you ever feel in your life, because they will give you the bottom of the bottom job to do. And you just feel like, Lord, what have I done to deserve this? And I just realized, because I was living without a plan. I was living without a plan. And that's how you end up in that situation, when you live without a plan. Yeah. It's People Ready now, and they are a True Blue company now. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, they may have changed the name. But yeah, at the time it was called Labor Ready. Yeah. When you live in life without a plan, man, somebody's going to give you a plan to work. You understand? If you're not working your plan, somebody will give you a plan. And I learned it. I had to get there to learn it. So please, by all means, don't hesitate to invest in yourself. Go ahead and get these courses. Go ahead and, talk to people. Go, do whatever you got to do to work whatever it is you're trying to work to get to wherever it is you're trying to get to. Because somebody's got a plan for you if you don't have a plan for yourself. Believe that. There are companies out here waiting to exploit you once you get to that bottom level. There are companies that are just built on exploiting people. McDonald's is one of them. I talk about that all the time. McDonald's is a real estate company, and they're a real estate company that exploits people who've made poor decisions in life. I 1000% believe that. 1000% believe that. There's companies like that at the bottom just waiting to give you peanuts. Understand this, guys. I remember being 16 years old, and I was working at a place called Taco Boy. And I've told this story up before on this channel, but it was a fake Taco Bell owned by a guy named Bob Baltieres. And he basically had ripped off Taco Bell and called it Taco Boy. And I remember coming in after school, and I was a little late. And he sat me down in his office, and he's like, man, if you want this 25-cent raise, I'm gonna have to see you put in a real effort. And I think about that time, the fact that I actually got out that meeting and walked into the kitchen, and I went in and went harder than I usually would for 25 fucking cents, man. God damn, they used to exploit us. I seriously, for all of you guys who've done fast food, think about those times back in the day. Like, you used to actually think that maybe I could get a 25-cent raise. Man, I smack myself in the face every time I think about that, because this was before social media, before, this was maybe 2005-ish. And, damn, man, they really exploited us, man. They really exploited our youth when I think about it. They really exploited the fact that you didn't know. They didn't know you could, and plus at the same time, You can't be too hard on yourself because you didn't know. You didn't know there were other ways to make money. You didn't know about, affiliate marketing or how to, buy and flip shit at garage sales and, buy on clearance and then put it on eBay, Amazon FBA. You didn't know how to do those things. But they took advantage of you for not knowing how to do those things. And that still happens today. That still happens today. Where you got people who are being taken advantage of for not knowing. What you don't know does hurt you. And people who have the information won't even walk up and tell you, hey, man, you should fuck this shit. Unless they really love you. Unless they really love you or they really just look, people. Because you got some people who just look out for other people. And like, yo, bro, why are you doing this bullshit job, man? Why are you over here doing this shit? You can be doing this X, Y, Z and making more money, right? If you have somebody like that lucky enough to come into your life, man, keep that person around. Q Mason, you said, oh, shout out to you, Q Mason. You've been here for a while, man. Back in the 80s, I worked a job that gave me a 10-cent raise. God damn. Shit. See, boy. You know what? I gotta, do I even have, I don't even have the right sound effect for something like that. God, that's a devil laugh. I gotta give that a devil laugh. That's your employer. That's your employer, man. That's your employer laughing at you. A 10-cent raise. You got to understand, man. Understand, like, you give an employer a 10-cent raise, the ROI on that for the employer is probably 200 to 300%, bro. Not even, and I'm not even saying 200% on the 10 cent. I'm talking about 200% on whatever that actual value you are to the business, because you're going to act differently on the 10 cent, perform better on the 10 cent, that your realized value, it's a whole different number. Combo contractor trees, I know that feeling, brother. Yeah. Knowledge is power, man. Knowledge really is power. All right, let's get back to these stocks, man. I know I've been running my mouth a little bit, but sometimes you get into these mindsets, and I got to hit you with a story or two because I'm feeling it. Here's Visa still looking good. I don't even know why this stock is running the way it is right now, because but then again, like, a lot of people are using credit right now. People are living on credit cards right now. I don't know if you've been on TikTok recently, but damn near every other video is a woman crying about how she can't make it. If you've been on TikTok lately, I've never seen so many people on TikTok crying about how they can't make it. You didn't look, all I'm going to say is, look, when Trump was president, you didn't see them kind of videos on TikTok. You didn't see nobody crying about how they couldn't pay their bills when Trump was president. And I'm not going to say he's the greatest thing in the world either. I'm there are a lot of things about his policies I still don't like, but I'd rather, sometimes it's just about taking the lesser evil, man. Sometimes it's just about taking the lesser evil. And at this point, man, you have Biden being escorted by his wife just to get off the stage. I don't know if you guys been seeing that now, where they got to escort this man off the stage just to, just because he can't find his way off the stage. The man's he'll make a speech slurring his way through it. And then once he's done, he just stands there lost until his wife comes and grabs his arm and walks him slowly down the stairs. I got to find that video because it's At this point, it's just embarrassing. You know. Let me see if I got that video saved somewhere. And I'm not gonna take up too much time looking for this. But it's sad. You know. Yeah, this here it is right here. Let me see if I can I bring it in focus? Yeah, here's Biden here. So he makes the speech, and he's got to be escorted off. Breaking the new First Lady Biden now escorts Joe Biden off the stage after his remarks in Pennsylvania. Right? And this is happening all the time now, where he's got to be escorted off the stage. See how she's leading him. This man can't even understand. He can't even function. Look at his arms. He can't. This is crazy, yo. Who's really in control of our country? Who's really in control? That's crazy. And look, don't make me a Trumper or anything like that, because I'll be the first one to tell you. I don't, there's some people on that side of the aisle they're crazy, bro. There's some people on that other side that are racist as fuck. Let's just keep it 100. Somebody left a comment talking about MSTR price no longer correlates with Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Y'all don't be, some of these people leaving comments. Every other day I work up, I got over 700 videos on YouTube. Every other day somebody leaving me an N-word or some crap analysis that they ain't going to back up once I push back. House of Representatives. Yeah, the least out of two evils. Exactly, the analyst. The least out of two evils. And that's where we are with it. That's where we are with it. Does anybody have any stocks they want reviewed or anything like that? Any comments, any trades that they're looking at? AMD. Nothing on it today. Very impressive. Nice run, though, going back into July of 2022. Very impressive, actually. But nothing much today, but looking very healthy. Looking really healthy. These last couple of videos that I put up too, my whole trading process, I'm basically breaking it down and showing it to you guys. Also, that Terry Julian Money in the Bank calculator, you'll be able to get that on the course too. You guys, that's the money. This is the money play right here, boy. You use this calculator, you're good. You're good. So for all you guys who bought the course, again, you don't need to pay. Don't pay for it again. Just log in. Use your login from 2-3 years ago. If you remember, you're still using that same email address, go ahead and pull it up. And you can get in there. Yeah, Jose, I'm back, man. I'm back. I'm trying to bring this channel back to life. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to bring this channel back into life, man. Shout out to my new subscriber. Whoever else is watching that you're not subscribed, go ahead and click subscribe right now. I'm looking to get 25 new subscribers by the end of this week. All right, I should have started this countdown on Monday because I got like seven already. So that's what's going to help me. But I just got to keep busting out videos. I got to get retarded again. Like back when I used to make like 6 videos a day. That's what I need to do. I got to get retarded again. You know. Y'all remember when I used to be in that EBT apartment complex where the sink, and if you go back to my old videos, you can see it where the sink, and them white folks used to really crack on me about that because like he's talking about stocks, he's living in the ghetto. Yeah, I was in the ghetto, motherfucker. You right. I was in the ghetto talking about stocks. You absolutely right. You absolutely right. The sink was actually, I don't know what's that called, but it was a sink for where a washer empties out. So it wasn't even a real sink. It was just like a big, deep kind of sink where, you know, a washer, when it was, you know, done with the water, it would flush in there. But the apartment was $400 a month. And shit, that was all I could really afford. You know, and I didn't want to live with my parents because I just felt like shit. I don't want to live with my parents. You know what I'm saying? You know. And one of the biggest reasons because I really wasn't getting no booty at home. You know what I'm saying? You can't clap cheeks at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Mom's coming in every time. Dad's coming in at any time. I couldn't clap cheeks. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, like I gotta get out of here. You know, I gotta get out of here. You feel me? So yeah, them white folks used to crack on me about that, but you know, once we got into the promoting game, we started making money. You know. Yeah, but you got to understand, Elite, the only reason I was heavy into OTC is because I needed money. I needed money. I didn't have any money to trade. I was talking about stocks and I didn't even have no money to trade stocks. I didn't have no money. So yeah, if you don't have no money, all you do is just report on these, you know, retarded, degenerate gambling stocks. And then you talk about them so well that people will pay you money. I'll be literally doing a video like this, and then my phone will go off after the show. I'm not going to put this man out here, but he was, he was a small hat. And sometimes I would leave, you know, my phone. I, just forget to turn off my phone, and I'm getting a ring on the computer. He's like, "Yo, man, if you talk about this stock on your show tomorrow, just talk about it as much as you can. I'll give you $1,500. I'm like, what? What? For $1,500, nigga, send it. Send the money. Send the money. It'll be the only stock I talk about. You know what I'm saying? It'll be the only stock I talk about. So that's how it started. That's how it started. And then I started getting money, and then I built the website, and then that's how the Happy Penny stocks came around and shit. So I'm like, these white folks sending me money just to talk about stocks. You know. Now the problem is that once the cease and desist letters started coming in, and then, you know, people started sending me like, you know, legal notices and stuff. That's when it started to scare me because, man, it's like, okay, these folks might be trying to take my freedom away or something. You know. They might be trying to take my freedom or some shit. You say you took a L on one of my I actually remember that ticker too, by the way. FPVD. I think that was like a police, if I remember correctly, it was like a police surveillance product. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think it was like a police surveillance thing. I think FPVD had something to do with police, if I remember correctly. The thing about OTC stocks is, man, it's like unless you front running, you can't really make money. unless you front running, unless you the guy who came to me with the bag and say, go talk about this. You unless you're that guy, you can't make money. You really can't make money unless you're that guy. Or unless you just like accidentally in it, because that happens a lot too, where you just have, you had $50 trapped in there and you just like fuck it, and then one day you wake up and that shit is like $850, and you're like, damn, what happened? That's what happens a lot of times in OTC stocks. You got guys who have $100 and they'll just buy 10 of this, 10 of that, $10 of this, $10 of that, $10 of that, and just have it sitting there for months. Okay, there it is. Police body cameras. Yeah, there it is. And back then, that was like a big thing because the Trayvon Martin thing was like, maybe a year or two earlier. So a federal law had just been passed where all these police had to get the body cams. So at the time, there wasn't no go-to body cam. Now there's a go-to body cam. Everybody, every department is using, I don't even remember the name of it, but every department has that one brand they use now. But at the time, it was open season. It was, everybody had their own version of the police cam because all these federal police departments needed to buy one to meet the new laws. So you had a whole bunch of different brands competing for supremacy, competing for that market supremacy in that, in that field. So FPVD was, something that was taken off. Now the problem is that they didn't really have a proprietary product. What FPVD ended up really being was just this guy out of Arizona went to China and he basically slapped his logo on a whole bunch of crap cameras and then came to America and was, selling them to police departments. And he had a couple on the contract, but for the most part, at the end of the day, when you don't have your own software, you don't really have your own, design. When problems would come back, you just like, oh, well, we can't do anything about it. So that's kind of what happened there. All right, so here's Axon, aerospace and defense product. It's a pretty big company, man. It's almost $20 billion market cap. And I feel like I've never even heard of this company before. Boy, that chart is very impressive. That chart looks like SMCI, or it looks like a tech company. What is this? This is very impressive. Yeah, they look good, man. I mean, I'm, well above all of my moving averages. You actually have some price stability in the chart as well. It's actually quite impressive, man. Let me open up my dummy Tasty Trade account and just look at what these options look like here. All right. AXOM. What does this look like here? AXON, right? Let me see. All right, so not the greatest liquidity on the options, but I mean, they are positions. 249 right now. Where is that 50 and 100 at? Let's bring out the Keltner channels. All right, decent pullback, still above the lines. So right now, God, it does move down hard though, don't it? I mean, it moves down hard when it does go down. It moves hard. But I'd want to learn what happened here. But at the end of the day, it still does very, you've had a really good 2022, particularly after September. You did really well. I'd love to know what the material difference was here. Oh, he was talking about the damn police body cams. Okay. But yeah, you weren't even talking about this, but I'm just curious what this was. They don't even have decent volume like that on the stocks, but I've never even heard of this damn company. You know, hey man, look, I'm never gonna pass the chance to make some money, but this is impressive. You weren't even talking about this, but look, from 60 to 250? From 60 to 250? Come on now. I gotta look into that. Yeah, do not invest in penny stocks, man. Do not invest in penny stocks at all. Do not invest in penny stocks at all because there's just too many ways to. There are too many ways to make money, man. Like, you know, with companies that are real, have real products, real services. You know, you don't have to do it that way. You don't have to invest in penny stocks at all. What is the S&P 500 minis? I know somebody here has that ticker. S&P 500. It's like the mini spy or something like that. I think isn't it X something? Is it XPS or something like that? XPS. XP. I wanted to show how to S&P 500 minis. It trades like a stock. Let me see. S&P 500 mini. Not the futures. It's a mini ETF. Is it options? Okay. I guess it is. XSP. Okay, it is XSP. But I swear I thought they had S&P 500 mini that trades on the regular exchanges. Okay. All right. Yeah, because it's XXP, but these are index options. So you're not going to be able to trade these on like Robinhood or anything like that. But this is another, very impressive product. But yeah, this is index options, but you don't have to worry though. I wouldn't even bother with that. SPXL. Here's the leveraged. Doing very well. Of course, QQQ. What is isn't it QQQT, right? Or no, TQQQ. All right, which is the leveraged one? Yeah, TQQQ. Well, that was a mover. Look at this from November 1st. Leverage is always pretty dangerous, but when this is another one that's just doing really, really good right now. But over the next couple of days, you're going to see some things cool down a little bit, particularly, they're saying we're going to get some cuts going into the week and going into some interest rate cuts. But the problem is that there are only 8 meetings, and there are only 8 Federal Reserve meetings this year. And they said we're going to cut 5 times. Now, here's the thing, though. The Federal Reserve doesn't typically cut interest rates during the last 2 meetings before an election because they want to look like they're trying to favor a particular party. Now, they might break precedent this year, but, if we don't get a cut this coming Federal Reserve meeting, which I think is as early as next month, beginning of next month, then do we get a cut every single meeting from here on out? I don't believe that. Tasty Trades is a decent broker. Yeah, they're all right. They're okay. I mean, they're good for, again, when I'm putting a course together and stuff, just because it's so descriptive. You know, but obviously for somebody who kind of knows what they're doing, I wouldn't suggest them for people who already know, but it's a really great for a starter. They got great customer service. It's very simple to explain to other people. All right, but don't forget about these leveraged ETFs too, man. Don't forget about ETFs in general, man. You know, they're not all as liquid as you want them to be. There's going to be a ticker called IBIT that's going to start trading tomorrow. That is what I believe is going to be the ETF winner. You know, 2.5 weeks from now, you're going to see a report come out about basically what ETF has all the money. And it's probably going to be the BlackRock product, which is going to be called IBIT, IBIT. That's going to be the one that I think is going to have all the money. Let me see. Let's see. I think somebody's got the list out there. I know I can grab and show you guys real quick. Is this it? The one with the actual tickers on it? IBIT. Yeah. Okay. This is it. Yeah. Let's see if I can show you guys this one here. Images. Add source. Alright, let's see here. Can I show you guys that one? I bet. Yeah, here it is. So this is basically the list. Let me make it bigger to cover myself up. So this is basically what got approved today. So GBTC is going to convert into an ETF. IBIT by BlackRock, I think it's going to be the one that's going to beat out all of them. I think that one's going to beat out all of them. Notice some of them have the waivers, which like you're not going to have to pay any fees for like 6 months or something like that. Or if you put up $1 billion. If you put up $1 billion, I don't think you got to pay at all. I mean, which is, you know, look, bruh, you sitting on that kind of money. Why you got to be greedy and even get into this? But that's a different conversation. But yeah, go ahead and screen capture that. And, you know, hey, maybe you might do something with that. You might be able to do something with that coming up. Again, all of these will trade tomorrow. Pretty much every single one of these will trade starting tomorrow. Options will not be available initially. Options will not be available initially. They're saying it could be up to 6 months to a year before they get options because it's going to be tricky with that. But, you know, keep paying attention. Obviously, I'll let you guys know as soon as we start seeing some options available on Bitcoin ETFs, because that'll be very exciting. All right, that'll be very, very, very exciting. Yeah. Antoine, you said you lost 6,500 on KG. Shit, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah, Jose, I saw you put the SPX as SPY, but I thought there was a smaller one than SPY. I swear there was a smaller one. I swear like a couple years ago, there's SPX, SPY, and then there was another one that came out that also trades on regular exchanges that was like 1/10 of SPY. But I think that was the XXP thing. I think that was this. But it's giving me a different price now. It's giving me like 478 something. But I swear this used to be like a double digit stock, like a 20, 24, 40, 45, something like that. You know. Yeah. What's going on, P. Whitty? What's going on, P. Whitty? Yeah, somebody brought up options. We did again, if you didn't look at my MSTR video, which is MSTR looking really nice after hours right now. We're in here at the 500 level. I think on the video I said 420, which is fine because if you got in at 420, that's even better, to be honest. Got a little greedy and got in here at the 500 level for April, or I can't even remember. But I posted it on my Twitter account. But this is one that's selling off quite aggressively. And right now we're just playing underneath the price action. Hopefully just looking for a bounce, a multi-month bounce. Nothing crazy. I'm not expecting 700, 740. But even if it gets to the mid sixes again over the next 30 to 45 days, that'd be a very generous return on some deep in the money options. Nvidia, again, just to touch on that again real quick. Boy, what a breakout. I mean, this was this initial line that we made here on Monday. We made this line here on Monday on the video that I posted, and here we are now at 543. And I knew this candlestick was going to be huge. I didn't think it'd be this powerful, but boy, look at the last 3 days. This is a beautiful candle. You want to talk about conviction? You want to talk about like this stock is actually worth this price? These are the kind of candlesticks you get. They look like this. Now you're seeing a little bit of hesitation here as it, gets to some new heights here. But boy, I mean, this you want to talk about a company that's doing everything right? Everything right. Nvidia's doing it. What's going on, Woody, right? Everything right. Nvidia's doing everything right. They're not doing anything wrong that I can think about. Here's Intel. All right, Intel is another one that, again, started running, still looking really good. And again, this is another one. Hey, $200 billion market cap. Still looking very good. It's about a quarter of the size of Nvidia. This is another company last year did, 50% year over year. You don't get AI on a big scale without these kind of companies. Generational change is still going to happen. See, that's the thing though. The signal was basically the positive momentum was the retest. The failed retest and then bounce off above support, right? Above support, which was, what you would call a higher low. You got the failed retest at 5, reattempt here, didn't even, this is just looking at this and you're saying, man, failed at 480. They gave up on this rally. Found support at 391, which, didn't even, I don't even want to say that was previous support because I wouldn't even count that in, or previous resistance. Well, I would say, yeah, maybe I would consider that to be previous resistance. But found support at previous resistance, tested 500 again, failed again, but created a higher low. And then from then on, it was just more or less like conviction and just waiting and waiting, waiting. And by the way, there was no news here. This was not a news-driven event. This was just like, hey, this is the third time we're trying this. and we're believers, and then you had obviously people come in with some large amount of capital and blow through this. And this is where, again, I just kind of suggest, you can't time this kind of stuff. Those days of market timing and all of that stuff, I think you just lose so much money trying to time these things, where you've just got to be a convicted, trader, investor, that is going to make the right move. And it's going to continue the trend to go higher. And that's probably not the answer you're looking for, but you just got to believe it's going to move. It's going to keep going. With a lot of these plays, you just got to believe. And it's the reason why the guys who just, don't necessarily trade it, but just put their money in and DCA forever, they win so big, because the 10 or 20% of the time it makes a big move, they get to be a part of that. They get to be a part of that. Whereas a day trader, you lose out on making so much more money, because you're just always chasing, the 2 or 3% here and there that you can get. You'd make significantly way more just sitting in it. Right? Being an option trader and sitting in it. Chilling in the stocks for 40, 50, 60 days. Just eating away at that premium. Was it 250, 24 moving? Yeah. I mean, I use 50 and 100. I use 50 and 100 as I teach on my videos. But, it stayed well above that price action. It stayed well above those levels. And again, you're holding, a bull call spread somewhere underneath here, as I posted in a bunch of my videos. You're holding 424, 437, and you're just sitting there being patient. And as long as you're not, being tested in any kind of serious way, it's expiring, it's losing premiums, going straight into your account. And that big move higher, now you're just closing it for a nice return and then moving up the price level, price ladder. All right. So now we're at 543. I wouldn't come in too close, because I very well expect, I'd love to see a retest of maybe even 506 or 510. I'd love to see it come back down a little bit from here. I made that in the video that I put up the other day. Let me see. This is probably not the one I want. Yeah, it's not the one I want. Where's they keep moving shit here. Not vertical line. This ain't the one I want either. Yeah, that's not the one I want either. Where is that? I don't want cross line. Trend line. Vertical line. Horizontal ray. Horizontal line. No. God, they be making shit. I hate the new trading view. I know y'all know what I'm looking for, but it's not ray, horizontal ray. No, it's the one where I can just create the line myself. I forgot what that's called. I'll look that up. But a retest of 520 is what I would like to see. A retest of 520, showing support at 506 or higher level support to bounce off of. But I'm fully expecting maybe some trends, some sideways trending now on NVDA. Yeah. Any other tickers you guys want to look at before I get up out of here? Boy, I want to talk about them tunnels so bad, but I know I'm going to come back here and won't find no damn account. Like, god damn, they got me. You see? Man, poor PayPal. PayPal got, I think JP Morgan Chase came out and shitted on PayPal again. I feel like I don't know what it is about PayPal. They're just not getting it done, man. PayPal is not getting it done. I would never have imagined to see PayPal struggling like the way they're struggling now. I'd always thought about them as a really good company. You know, I've never had a problem with PayPal, but Wall Street hates PayPal right now, man. I mean, they just hate PayPal. Everybody's just shitting on that stock. Not sure why. Here's Block with a bad day today too as well. You know, all of these payment processors are just getting beat up. You know, they're really just getting beat up. And I have yet to really find a good answer on it. U.S. Steel. Didn't U.S. Steel get bought out by a Japanese company? Didn't U.S. Steel? I think U.S. Steel just got bought out by a Japanese company. Am I right? Are they going to still continue to be trading here? Unless I got them confused with another steel company. Because I swear some company just bought a big U.S. steel company. And, yeah, that was a really big deal. Okay. It was U.S. Steel then. Yeah, I remember reading about that. Looks good though, man. Looks good. I don't know what the story is here, you know, but you know, when you talk about infrastructure, I like to look at the transports, and I didn't see what I needed to see in the transports. You know, which, by the way, they used to call the trannies, believe it or not. You know, they'd say, hey, let's look at the trannies. And they stopped using that term. Let me see here. XTN. Well, that's a very low. What's that transport ETF, the big one? Isn't it like, let me just type it and just go get it. Transportation ETF. What's the big one? What's the big one? I know somebody. IYT. Yeah, IYT is the big one. There it is. I mean, it's not that big, but it's heavier than the other one. Wow, this is actually doing pretty decent. Here's on the monthly chart. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, y'all acting like this is trading like they passed a budget bill or something. Shit. I mean, the government about to get frozen in 10 days and the transports are moving like this? Or I think it's 20 days. We got another fight coming with that. So very soon. Because I know the initial one was an extension. Yeah, you know, Home Depot, I got to say, I'm really impressed with what's going on in housing. I don't know where all of this cheap money is coming from. But I'm very impressed with what's going on with housing and housing-related stocks like Home Depot. You know, PHM is one that I really look at. Pult Group, which is a home builder. I mean, look at that. I'm very, very impressed. I'm very impressed because even with these kind of interest rates, it shows that people still out here buying homes at a at prices that people would say they would stop buying at, but they're still buying it. They're still buying it. Now, I still think we have a disaster coming in commercial property, but that's not even something to worry about because most commercial property exposure are smaller banks or smaller banks. And I think what's the mid cap bank ETF? I think it's KBE, right? KBE. Yeah, it's KBE. And this is why this one isn't running as strongly as it probably should. People know it's got that corporate class real estate on their books. And it's holding that down because there's going to have to definitely be some reorganization there. But yeah, Home Depot, Lowe's, which I think is LOW, right? It's LOW. Home Depot, Lowe's. Home Depot doing a lot better than Lowe's. I used to track Lowe's a long time ago. Remove drawings. But Home Depot's doing a lot better than Lowe's, boy. Home Depot breaking out of some multi-year resistance there. Now looking for that all-time high at 420. Home Depot, the Atlanta company. And if I'm correct, I think the guy who owns Home Depot is the one who owns the Atlanta Hawks. Or not the Atlanta Hawks, the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons. He built and created Home Depot. Not sure if he still owns it, but I'm pretty sure that's the same guy. Yeah. All right. All right, guys. I mean, I don't want to keep you guys for too long, but I want you guys to be paying attention to DXY, because if DXY starts getting, it starts breaking down here, which it looks like it's recovered a little bit. If it starts really breaking down here, boy, the whole market is really about to run, man. The U.S. dollar index plays a big part in how aggressively the stock market in general runs, just because it makes U.S. products cheaper in foreign countries. So if we start to see this retest those lows, boy, you don't want to miss out on this. You don't want to miss out on it. So DXY is something you need to be checking every single day just to see what's going on. Because if you have a red hot day, I can almost assure you DXY is red. If you see a red hot day, DXY is red. If you see just a day that was like, ugh, then DXY is green, and then energy was probably higher too. So energy's been in the dumps lately. You had the Saudis go out and revise the pricing on their oil. You got some people who say there's already an underlying recession going on. I haven't seen it. We talked about that in the last episode. I haven't seen it. But some people are already saying that they're seeing it out there on crude. All right, here's USO. All right. Again, I haven't seen it. But when you look at some, Exxon Mobils of the world, I mean, it looks bad out there. All right. It looks bad out there. But again, when the brother who brought up the transports, the brother who brought up, who's the same guy, housing, who brought up Home Depot, things look good on the consumer side. So something's not gelling here. Something's not gelling here. So we're going to find what the truth is here very shortly. We're going to find out what the truth is here shortly. Arthur Blank, yes, that's him. Wait when interest rates start to go down and people start to build more. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I don't want to see interest rates go down. I don't, to be honest with you, I really don't want to see that kind of, inflation come back because we still got these wars going on. We still got these wars going on, and higher interest rates has been the very reason that a lot of us have been able to kind of catch up. Have been able to kind of catch up to, just to living. I mean, it's a lot of people were struggling these last couple of years, particularly going into 2023. There were people who were, not being able to eat. The food banks popping like crazy. So, 501-908. Okay, we got a caller on the line. Who's this? Oh, shit. Hold on. We got a caller on the line. Did I miss his call? Whoever called me back, call me back, man. Why was it not on my, why do I not see, I see it on YouTube, but I don't even see it on my, oh, here we go. We about to call you back, man. We about to call this caller back. Hey, Dawson, what's up, man? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see you still got that Charlotte, North Carolina number? That's what's up, man. So you're live on the air, man. How can I help you, or what do you want to share with us? Okay. All right, man. Yeah, go ahead and put them in the chat, man. We'll go ahead and talk about them. Let's take a look. Clear Mind. I've heard about this one. All right. Popped and this one popped and sold off. Let's see here. No, if you're doing well on these, I mean, stick with it. I mean, I would never tell you to stop doing something that you're making money at. Obviously, you kind of know, what the underlying catalyst is, and then you're getting it. Yeah, you're getting in front of it because I mean, obviously, with what's going on with it now, and again, I'm me just talking because I don't have any news on it. But if this could be a multi-day event, it can be impressive, man, with something that's got only 1.5 million shares floating out there, you know? Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hold on. They're saying you guys saying you can't hear him? Hold on. Let me see here. Let me see here. 1 second, guys. Man, I'll put device. Let's see here. Um, let me see here. All right, Dawson, you still there? Okay. I'm not sure why they're saying they can't hear him. They can't hear you, but yeah, give me those other two stocks and I'll get back to the show. Okay. So KGTT. Oh, okay, okay. All right, and then CMND. All right, thanks, Dawson. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the call, bro. All right. Yeah, sorry about that, guys, that you guys couldn't hear him. I'm not sure why, but we'll definitely make sure to get that fixed to make sure you guys can hear what he was saying. I'll make sure to get that fixed. I wasn't sure that you guys couldn't hear him on the line. But he gave me some good tickers, and obviously he's got some inside scoop on that, and he's in the chat room, and he's also, I want to say Dawson is the combo contracting. And Dawson, I got to interview you too, man, because you got a really great story, because he used to deliver like Uber Eats and stuff, and now he's doing like contracting work. You know what I'm saying? And I think Dawson, you own that business, right? You know what I'm saying? Dude stacked up his bread and made a move. So that's a good story we can share sometime. LAES. Oh, this is actually something this is a decent turnaround. Again, the pennies can make you some money if you are looking at legitimate turnaround situations. I like the fact that he's playing the pennies that are actually on the NASDAQ. I was afraid he was going to actually put down OTCs, but these are not OTCs. These are actually NASDAQ stocks that have been really beaten up and, could be doing and making changes to the bottom lines here that are resulting in some real gains. And then he brought up KITT. HODLer Robotics. God damn, this one is beat the fuck up. This one was in the dumpster. Let me see, what is the Keltner channels? Woo! I don't use this indicator much, but boy, yeah, see that? I mean, this was in the dumps. This was in the dumps for months. I mean, just all red. All red. And that's that Madrid ribbon indicator. Not something I use a lot, but sometimes when I just want to measure how drastic a pullback is, that's a really good indicator to use, because it's just multiple moving averages. And you can do some YouTube research on that. That's actually a pretty one to identify possible turnaround situations. Yeah, but I'll make sure I fix that sound issue. I'll make sure I fix that sound issue before the next show, so we make sure that when people call up, you guys can actually hear what the hell they're saying. I'm sure it's something on my end in terms of making sure that it's going through the audio of the show as well. Because it's important for you guys to do, because I want to have interviews here, man. We want to start doing interviewing people and doing that stuff like I used to do. I kind of fell out with my boy John. And isn't that crazy? This dude, I've known this dude since 8th grade. And I had him on my show, 5 times? We promoted his book, everything, and I fell out with homie, man. Like, that's crazy. I haven't been able to talk to him in like a year. He won't take my calls because it was a situation where he had came on to the show. Again, this was his 5th time on the show, and then he was like, yo, you got to bring me back on the show. And at the time, I was like, bro, I just had you 4 days ago. Like, we're not really, I fuck with your book. You know that. I'm your boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to push whatever you need me to push. But he just kind of wanted to be back on the show, and we wasn't no real new information. So he felt kind of salty about that, and I haven't been able to talk to homie since. I've known this guy since 8th grade. Can you believe that? Like, it's not no like grow apart type shit. It's just this nigga really just angry at me. Like, I'm like, dude, like, you speak well, you talk, you can create your own shit too. Like, it's nothing where I'm trying to gatekeep you. I've had you on 5 times. And then the last 2, 3 times, we didn't really give no new information. You know, because he on that gold stuff. Buy gold, like gold, silver. I'm like, well, I mean, they really not moving like that. You know. So if you guys have ever had friends fall out with you, man, like, I never thought that would ever be me, but, you know, you have people out there that be upset with you for no, in my opinion, no reason. But, you know, I digress. I want to get back to where I can start interviewing people again and having people on. I'm really working hard to get the brother who wrote Bitcoin in Black America. I really want to get him on. We followed each other on Twitter 3 days ago, and it's more or less something where, you know, he doesn't even charge. He doesn't even charge for interviews. It's just more or less, you know, his schedule. So I just told him, like, bro, you know, just whenever you can find the time, I want to have you on. It's a great book. Bitcoin in Black America is a great book. He's coming out with part 2 next month, and I really would love to have him before the book drops, because I know once the book drops, you know, he's not probably going to have time for no little YouTuber. So I'd love to have him before that time. Yeah. You said all friends are not friends for life. That sucks though, man. And I don't like to think like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to think like that, but it's, you know, it's true. You know, it's unfortunate that people grow apart. You know, I got some people on my Facebook that, you know, like, I'm thinking high school years. I'm thinking like that mentality in high school. Like, I'm gonna talk to this dude for the rest of my life. That's the homie, you know. And then, you know, I'm looking at some of these people, and I can't call them. Not that saying that I can't, but like, I wouldn't even know what to say. You know, at some of my Facebook friends, I wouldn't even know what to say. You know, I wouldn't even know what to say. Like, hey, how you doing? Okay, cool. You know, they might think I'm trying to sell something. You know what I'm saying? Because usually that's kind of what happens. Like, somebody pop up that you haven't met in years and years and years. You know, for a lot of black people, that's typically like somebody who's trying to sell you something. Like, you know, maybe they got into some, you know, multi-level marketing type stuff, and, you know, they being told to call up damn near everybody they know in their, you know, their damn life. Because that's, for a lot of us, that's what it is, you know, when an old friend pops up in your life. So, I've never wanted to be that person, of course. Of course not. You know? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You know. Absolutely. Trying to give out as much game as possible. As much game as possible. So it's up to him to call me. You did my part in helping him. Yeah, man, because, I mean, nobody's been moving that book. You know, I moved the book. I moved more copies of his book than, you know, he did himself. You know what I'm saying? I moved more copies of his book than he did himself. You know. But, you know, I still consider that the homie, because, you know, I know his mama. You know what I mean? I know his moms. I know, you know, his dad, who used to work at GM. Barely ever saw that man work like 7 days a week, provide for his family. That was a hard-working black man, bro. If I ever seen a hard-working black man, I was his daddy, bro. So I knew both of them. So I'll never talk ill about homie. So, you know, I've reached out. I'll send a text for Christmas and stuff like that. And I know his little brother, who went to school with my younger sister. And that's how he ended up changing his number. I got his new number from him. And just popped up, like, yo, man, it's out. Hey, happy, you know, Merry Christmas, whatever. So, and I saw he read it too. So you're right. I did my part, man. I did my part. But it'd be weird to see how people can hold stuff. Like, it's crazy. Crazy. You say you'd be surprised that many people don't think of you that way. Yeah. I hope that wasn't the case. Because like I said, he been by my house. I've been by his house. Even when I was in college, I had him come to my dorm. He spent a couple days in my dorm. Went to couple football games. When he was at Central Michigan University, I went up there, hung out with him for a couple days. So, but yeah, man, shit, as you guys have already said in the chat room, shit changes over time, man. Shit changes over time. And it's crazy how, like, the women from your past be more cool than the dudes. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. How somebody you smashed 7 years ago will hey, what's up? How you doing? I'm like, damn. More real to me than somebody who, like I said, was in my house. But yeah. Let's keep it on a positive note and just check the price of Bitcoin here and see where we're going to open at tomorrow. All right, still fighting for 4,700. I think we still get above 47,000. Excuse me. Eventually, we've touched it twice now, and we should break through that. Hopefully by this weekend, because tomorrow again these ETFs go live tomorrow, and we start seeing some buying. I'm excited for those of you guys who are riding into Bitcoin. Ride it for at least 2 weeks and see what happens. I think the next 2 weeks. It's going to be really exciting. Obviously, all of them have already started with a little bit in there. But as now funds start to come, because you remember, these are exchange-traded funds. So as cash comes in, they've got to go out and buy Bitcoin to meet the demand, right? To increase the assets under management, because they don't want to sit on cash, right? The cash has to immediately be turned into underlying asset in which they're selling the paper against. So as cash comes in, they're going to go to the spot Bitcoin market and grab some Bitcoin. So you need to be in, GBTC, which is, man, I'm actually very impressed by how hard that's been holding up. GBTC. This is now completely converted into an ETF now. So, which was once just a trust where you didn't necessarily own the underlying asset. You basically were just buying a share into the trust. Now, this is actually a fund where you actually own now a part of the fund, which contains, is it 1.6 million Bitcoin, something like that? I might be understating it, but it's a couple million Bitcoin inside of GBTC. It's a couple million in there. Say best friends become strangers. Yeah, be like that sometimes, man. Be like that sometimes. All right. So I appreciate all of you guys for joining me, man. Thinking possibly doing a show tomorrow. I don't know. But we're gonna start talking about a lot of other shit on here on the show because it can't be always about stocks all the time. A lot of pop culture stuff that I want to hit on. We had The Color Purple here flop real hard. And, that was just a movie just to, the Democrats try to put together real quick. And you always know it's an election year when the Democrats slap out a bunch of black movies. That's when you know it's an election season because they don't offer the community anything tangible. So what they do is they will make and just produce all kind of just black films to make you feel like you actually out here making moves when the community as a whole really isn't. So The Color Purple came out a couple weeks ago for Christmas, and that was a complete flop. It's been a disaster. And then you come to find out some of the actresses were complaining that they didn't even have any food on set. Can you believe that? They had no food on set, that they weren't given their own individual changing rooms. Some of them were underpaid, and they had to call Oprah to make things happen. And then Oprah, was it like a couple days ago, she went on TV talking about, why is my name in the bunch? Well, bitch, you the only one black with some real money. You know what I'm saying? In the movie game like that. Outside, as a woman. As a woman. So those women went to you to assist them. Yeah, y'all go look up that video where she's complaining about why they kept bringing up her name to make changes on the movie set. Your name is so heavily associated with the color purple, so yeah, they would go to you. Somebody got to check Oprah, because she be forgetting she from Mississippi. She be forgetting she from Mississippi sometimes. Yeah, them poor women didn't have no food. Can you imagine you being hired for a movie that you've been underpaid for to begin with, and then you don't have no food on set? And you got to understand, you're making this movie all day from sun up to sundown. And they had to change in like a room together, like all the women in one just basically hall where they had to just go in. And it just goes to show you the contempt that this industry and the politics behind movies like this really have for the community as a whole. It really does explain a lot. And one of the reasons why this movie flopped is because, the culture right now, we're thinking about empowerment. You know what I'm saying? We're not in the mentality of looking at that kind of entertainment. We're interested in things that are going to empower us, going to make you go out here and get a bag for yourself. That's the kind of stuff we want to see. And then anything that's counter to that, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It don't matter how many churches you go to. It doesn't matter what star or celebrity you put out there to act like a coon. People out here, they want to get empowered, man. People out here, they want to be empowered. They want to feel like they can go out here and really make some moves. And your content has to reflect that. And the Democrats are trying everything now. They're trying everything. Yeah, appreciate you, Dark Kermit. Yeah. ARKB is the Bitcoin ETF from Kathy Wood. Yeah, that one's going to do well too. I don't think that's going to be the leader, but that one's going to do well too. Is there a company that takes care of the employees? Who would that be? Well, that basically any company that works with unionized employees. UPS? No, I mean US. The United Postal. What is it? United Postal Service? Yeah, United Postal Service, right? Brown. I mean, you want to talk about a company that takes care of its employees? The United Parcel Service? Boy, they take care of their employees, man. If you know anybody who works for UPS, they making good money. They work hard, but they making good money. They making good money. Any company that allows union workers, that works with union workers, I would say that they are better off than most. Better employers than most. Even if they're, kind of sort of in a position where they're kind of forced to be nice, they're better off. If you work in any kind of high skilled role, so meaning you're someone who's gone to school for a long period of time and you have focused your entire life to learn a particular subject matter and maybe achieve the professional degree. You probably work for an employer who treats you very, very well, right? Because you are a very important skill set for them, and they've got to treat you well, because if you don't, you're more than likely going to leave compared to someone who's, not in the position you're in. All right, because more than likely you can go get a check somewhere else very easily. Very easily. So it has a lot to do with the worker, Pittsburgh. It has a lot to do with the worker. Said the color purple has a bunch of weird things going on. Harpoon characters, Oprah spelled backwards, part of the feminism movement. Yeah, I mean, we're going through fourth wave feminism right now, and it's incredibly destructive. I mean, that's the thing. Like, don't fight back. And I'm seeing a lot of brothers fighting women on social media and being don't fight these women on social media. Just allow things to take place as they are meant to be, because you got to understand it's a destructive science made to destroy women from the inside out. Understand that there was a time that women did things in their best interest, right? And what fourth wave feminism teaches women to do is to now to do things that are not in their best interest, in the illusion or in the guise that it actually is, and it's not, right? For example, just go out there and be with as many men as possible. That's sexual freedom. Slut walks and OnlyFans, and that you're somehow empowering yourself when you do these activities, right? And not really showing women the real destructive nature of this of their actions that they're doing. Understand, OnlyFans is a deep, dark well of destruction, because when you are a woman who signs up to do OnlyFans, a lot of women go there in the expectation that they'll just do a couple things and they'll get money. But the problem is that the way the men's mind works is that you've got to continually to produce content that gets darker and deeper and darker and deeper to keep the fans you're bringing in, right? To keep them attached to you. So now you thought you were just going to post pictures in a bikini. You thought maybe you just, let your homeboy hit it from the back for a couple videos. Now you farting. Now you getting, shit on your face. And now you got to go down this path of just deep, dark filth to stay afloat, to stay and keep people interested, And that's why now you're starting to see some women like, I give up on OnlyFans now. I feel like I'm a better, but the content is already out there. You can't walk away. You can't walk away. And that's what's so dangerous about, just being a woman in today's society, particularly if you're a mentally weak woman, and you're a woman who, looks at the outside world for, who you're supposed to be. It's so important now for fathers of daughters. You gotta train your daughter to be, mentally strong, man. You gotta train your daughter to be mentally strong, because fourth wave feminism is a beast. It is a beast. It will have your daughter out here, wearing miniskirts at 6. It's a beast. Yeah. And it's affecting men at all levels of society. Because you got some guys who think, oh man, if I'm rich, women wouldn't treat me this way. It's worse for men of higher income statuses, because now they can't trust anybody. they can't trust women because every woman just basically wants them for their material things and don't even really care about them for real. If you're a working class Joe and you barely out here really making it and you got a girl who really likes you, bro, you better hold on to her. You better really hold on to her and don't live in or have illusions of grandeur that you just gonna, boss up and toss her onto the side and go get something better. You better care for the girl who really, really likes you. You better care for the girl who really, really likes you before you end up with somebody who, doesn't really give a fuck. Go ask these rich guys, man. They are surrounded by women who don't give a fuck about them. And if all the money was gone, they would not care in the world. There's a reason why these guys go off themselves. Guys with millions of dollars, they go off themselves. They go engage in all kind of drug use. And what was that guy from Friends? He was in the show Friends. From the beginning to end, made millions of dollars. This guy is taking pills. This man's got millions of dollars living in a $10 million house out in Malibu. Could have got himself, because you would think man, this guy can just get anybody, but you can't, because you can't buy love. You can't buy love. These guys will tell you, man. These guys with money will tell you. You can't buy it. You can't buy it. Says crazier than in Miami. Oh yeah, I mean, a place like Miami. There's no loyalty at all. There's no loyalty, particularly if she's young and she's beautiful and she's being catered to. You don't give her what she wants. She's out the door to somebody else. Quick. Miami's a dog eat dog world. That's trick central. That's a gold digger's paradise, particularly if she's young. And if she's older, that's even worse because now she's desperate. But yeah, guys, I appreciate all of you guys for joining me and being in the chat room with me today and shooting the shit. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. Right now, market's quiet, no news after hours here. Man, look, this was an incredible day. It's really kind of surreal almost to think about something that, we used to just kind of talk about almost like selling crack when people used to bring up Bitcoin. People look at you like you were stupid, and now all of a sudden it's an exchange traded product being handled by, companies with billions of dollars on their assets. And I really have to shout out some of these people who've been, in that space for years, kind of like this brother I was talking about who wrote Bitcoin and Black of America, because now they can go out and get real jobs. They don't have to go out here and work for these crappy Bitcoin startups that weren't even able to really kind of pay them any kind of real money. They don't have to go work for Coinbase and promote shit coins. They can actually go get a job at Fidelity, at BlackRock, and all of those companies we listed earlier, and go get a real professional job, educating people on this incredible technology. There's a lot of orange pilling still left to do. And now they can go out and get real jobs. So, shout out to all those people who would get, they put in 10 years. They put in 12 years in Bitcoin, because now I think the next 5-10 years, man, it's going to be really, really incredible. It's going to be really, really incredible. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. So, yeah. All right, guys. I think I've done my closing like 3 times now. But I appreciate all of you guys, everybody who was in the building today. Alex, Boss Lynch, Dawson, who called up, Combo Contracting. Much continued success to you, Mr. Q Mason, Sheila, who I think is like the only woman that watches me consistently from Savvy Strands. Savvy Strands too. She sells weaves. I ended up buying a wig for my girl through Savvy Strands, who comes into the chat room. She was in the chat room earlier. But yeah, Savvy Strands, I'm gonna have to hit you up for them 26 inch. Was it 26-inch bust downs? So yeah, I'm gonna have to hit you up for one of those because my girl's been asking for another one. Who else? VE Jose Cornell, man, been a long time. I thank you for dropping by. Who else was in here? Cord Cutter Lifestyle, Bakari, Echo Bay, May VA. Anybody who's watching and is not a subscriber, please click subscribe right now. We trying to bring this. Money Mike, you too, man. Long time listener, long time watcher. But trying to bring this channel back from the brink, man. Even though I feel like I don't know if there's a word for it, like ghosted or not blackballed, but I just feel like sometimes they're preventing my stream from getting big. But I think it's just me having to just continue to bust out content so they believe like I'm really back and it's not like a fluke. So I've been consistent. I mean, I put out content every day this week. So we're going to put out content again tonight. So I'm going to make a video on Snow, SMCI, Snow, SMCI, and all of them are going to be trades. I'm going to put all the trades, put all the, just basically what I do. Just do what I do. But yeah, people, again, thank you so much for joining me. Tomorrow is another trading day. Trade well, everybody. Take care.